Hey guys, this is Scott from phasingplayer.com. Now, you might be wondering why I am in a different spot than normal, and maybe why I'm holding a stick mic like this. Well, I don't know that I have a good reason for the stick mic. Essentially, there's a movie that I like called The Last Broadcast. It's a horror movie, like kind of a silly found footage movie, but I'm a fan of it. And in it, one of the main characters that you see regularly is like often holding a stick mic up to his face like this. He's like, he's broadcasting. And I didn't really want to set up a lav. It's like 1:30 in the morning here right now, and I didn't want to set up a lav for I was feeling lazy, and I've got this stick mic, this stick mic with a little flag on it that I made, gosh, a few years ago, just for fun. And I thought, you know what? I just watched the last broadcast the other day. I'm gonna grab this stick mic and imitate a movie that probably no one's seen. Hey Oliver, I got my cat Oliver joining me. So I'm just here in my sort of messy office slash bike storage room. Got a little miniature painting station behind me. I was painting minis just a bit ago, and I felt like recording a vlog. I haven't done that in a little bit, and I felt like, hey, why not do it at 1:30 in the morning on a Thursday night slash Friday morning, I guess. I've got my cat Oliver hanging out here, joining me. Hey, buddy, how you doing? He's a regular on Phasing Player, as I'm sure anyone that's watched the channel has seen. So yeah, just thought I'd record a vlog late at night before I go to bed. Come on up, bud. You want to come on? You want to come up my lap, peeps? Oh, there's Ollie. All right. So I'm just going to record a vlog. I don't know how long I'm going to talk for. It might not be very long. It's late. I'm kind of sleepy. But again, I felt inspiration kind of hit. So what have I been up to lately? Well, I've been hanging out at home a lot, which is not too unusual for me, to be honest. I do spend time at home professionally. I work as a videographer, and I'm used to kind of sitting at home editing after going out and shooting stuff. Not that I've been doing that lately much. I'm not working a ton, or like I'm sure a lot of people aren't. But being at home is something I'm usually pretty comfortable with. I'm not the most extroverted guy in a lot of cases, and so just kind of hanging out on my own with my cats and my wife. It's usually not too bad. So I've been hanging at home. I've been playing some games, doing some solo stuff, playing video games too. I play a lot of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and I still do. And I started playing Escape from Tarkov recently, and that's gonna be a huge hill to climb in terms of learning that game, but I'm working on it. It's been fun so far. For those that don't know, Escape from Tarkov is a PC game currently in development, and it's sort of like a somewhere between like a shooter and like a massively multiplayer game, like an MMORPG, like your World of Warcraft sort of thing, and a little bit like loot finding, like Borderlands sort of thing, except with a very strong realism bend, and a very realistic military shooter. And if you die, you lose all your gear, so you have to be like super cautious. You gotta like make a new character if you die. It's a whole thing, but I've been getting into it. As far as board games go, I've been playing some stuff with my wife. We've been playing Ferox from Craft Fair Games that came out not that long ago. It actually came out a few years ago, but they did a re-release of it, a sort of new edition this year. And I have also been getting into Dungeon Degenerates, which I'll talk about that in just a minute. But otherwise, I've been painting miniatures a lot for Dungeon Degenerates. It's what I kind of have set up behind me here. My desk is normally not quite this messy, but it is. I'll admit, usually kind of a messy thing. And so I've been painting these pewter miniatures for Dungeon Degenerates, and I think it's going well. I enjoy painting minis. I haven't done it a ton lately, but I've been getting into it now that I have a little more time, getting back into it. I think they're going well. I'm a bit of a stickler when it comes to getting them, in just the right way in terms of paint job. So sometimes it takes me a little longer per mini than maybe some other people, but I'm getting there. I'm painting. I've got like 31 miniatures to paint, so I've got 4 down. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to lately. My wife's been baking a lot of bread, which has been cool. So we've been having a lot of bread in the house. I I've been trying to stay in shape, trying to exercise more, stretch out more. You just basically trying to stay sane and trying to stay healthy while there's a bit of a lockdown on the country. I hope everyone else is too. You know, it's I think it's important to try to keep your head in a good spot, and exercise definitely helps with mental health as well as physical. I've also been thinking about what to do with phasing player. Not I don't mean that in like a dramatic way. I mean like what sort of content to be making. Phasing player's not going anywhere. I didn't mean to say it in that manner. I'm just trying to think of like what kind of stuff to do, you know, for the channel. I recorded an interview with Matt Eklund the other day, who did Kriegbot, Pax Transhumanity, Pax Porfiriana, worked heavily on Pax Renaissance. Really cool guy, really nice guy. We chatted for about 3 hours, and so I'm gonna have that interview coming out soon next week. Yeah, I think the first part I'm gonna put up Monday, and the second part probably that Friday. So look forward to that being up, and looking forward to hearing what people think of it. Because Matt's a super cool guy. Like I said, he's really nice, very talkative, lots of fun stories to tell. I hope people enjoy it. And I want to do more interviews in general. I enjoy doing them. I really enjoyed talking to Nate Hayden last month, and Matt Eklund, you know, the other day. So if there are people that you guys would be curious to hear from, designers, publishers, you know, whatever, personalities in the industry, let me know. I'd be happy to try to, you know, reach out to them and have kind of a talk, you know, similar to my other interviews. If you guys will interview Nate Hayden and the upcoming Matt Eklund one, yeah, you know, I'd love to know who I should reach out to. I have some ideas in my head, but I also am trying to do more solo stuff. I know I've done the PAX Premiere solo stream. I did Navajo Wars not that long ago. I did a multi-handed play of BIOS Megafauna First Edition recently. And, you know, I'm trying different styles of things. PAX Premiere is not a solo game, but it has a solo bot. Navajo Wars is strictly a solo game. And I played BIOS Megafauna multi-handed without using the solo rules. And so, in general, I'm just trying different stuff, which is kind of something I try to do with this channel always. I always, you know, my live streams don't always look the same. My recorded videos don't always look the same. I don't always take the same approach with tutorial videos. My vlog, this is the second vlog I've recorded here, and it looks different than my other one. And so I'm just, you know, always trying different stuff, always trying to just experiment, just have fun with it. And so I'm sure eventually I'll settle into some sort of style for things, but as it stands right now, I'm enjoying experimenting. And so that's sort of what I'm doing with the solo stuff right now. Is I'm trying different styles of solo games. I'm trying you know, I'm approaching stuff from a different angle a little bit every time. And so what I'm kind of working on right now is bringing an ongoing campaign game to the channel, Dungeon Degenerates, which I said I'd talk about before. And it is, if you guys are not familiar, I've got the box sitting right here, almost like I planned this video. I planned this part of it anyway. Here's the box. Get it kind of in frame here. It is a game that I would not normally. Also, sorry for the sound. It's my cat Oliver rubbing on everything he can on my desk over here. You're a good guy, Oliver. I love you, buddy. Dungeon Degenerates is not a game that I would have been into like a year ago. Okay, it's a very like sort of story driven, Ameritrashy co-op adventure fantasy game. Essentially, those are all keywords. You know, I would have filtered out when I was researching games that I'd want to try. But the art style really, really jumped out at me in this one. Sean Aberg did the art. And it's the game is a garish pile of Technicolor vomit from top to bottom, and I couldn't take my eyes off of it. Kind of like something like Cave Evil is just this like stark black metal aesthetic that's just like all this black and white grim art. I'm not sure like black or white is used like once in Dungeon Degenerates. I mean, that's not true. There's certainly like black lines on things, but it is incredibly colorful. I posted a picture on Instagram and Twitter, and maybe even something on YouTube as well. But it is such a stark game to like it just blows me away what the art design of this game is like. It's like I said, I couldn't pull myself away from it, even though it was the kind of game I would not be interested in normally. But tastes change, tastes evolve, and that's that I also want to talk about that too, about kind of board game tastes and the sorts of things that you sort of end up liking that you didn't think you would. There was a time, probably a year, maybe 2 years ago, when I didn't care about theme, I didn't care about aesthetic of the game. All I cared about were gameplay mechanics. How does it play? Is it low luck? Is it heavy? Is it strategic? Does it allow a lot of competition and player agency? Those were all things that I really cared about, and I still do like that stuff. Don't get me wrong. But somewhere along the line, certain things just caught my eye that really just kind of changed my perspective on games that I enjoyed. I think Cole Worley's John Company was a big factor for that. Something that is just like unfettered negotiation that totally goes off the rails in terms of like what you can try to do with that negotiation. But I loved it. It was so fun, and it felt like I could take all these angles with the game that I couldn't do in something like a Food Chain Magnate, or abstract games like Hive or Go. There just this like powerful negotiation element really drew me in. And then the sort of random chance Sierra Madre Games titles that I got into post John Company also kind of took me in a direction that the high strategy, high agency games didn't, and I liked it. I liked a lot of that stuff. And then stuff like Sea Evil from Nate Hayden and the Embers of Eternal Evil. That was another one too that just generates these amazing emergent stories. I probably have made it clear on this channel that I like emergent storytelling in games. I don't like story-driven games where the story is literally written to you on like cards and in rule books. It's okay to get some of that stuff. Dungeon Degenerates has some of that stuff, but a game like Cosmic Encounter or Sea Evil generate these really memorable stories that are not expressly spelled out for you when you open up a game book or pull out a card. It's this stuff that just sort of comes up that your imagination just kind of goes wild, right? When you see things happen in these games and you develop these worlds and these characters in your head that are attached to the gameplay that you're experiencing, and you kind of voice that, and other players at the table feed into that stuff that you're seeing too. And it creates these amazing personal moments through these games. These fantastic worlds create like personal, touching moments, be it exciting or sad, or you're feeling elated at the end, whatever it might be. There are some games that will create powerful emotional moments, and I've come to like that kind of stuff a lot. Almost as much, maybe honestly, sometimes even more so than the strategy stuff, than the heavy strategy stuff. Just these interesting, like admittedly broken games at times, broken, quote unquote, games that do really interesting things, and those interesting things lead to stories. Okay, and again, I don't mean written stories. I mean emergent, on the table, in the moment stories, emotional stories. And I think Dungeon Degenerates is something that's going to do that for me. I shouldn't even say I think it's going to. It does. I've set it up. I've played it a bit. And it's just got all this emotion and energy in it that really comes through and really helps to generate these unique stories when you play. The game's got a very colorful cast of characters, literally, like I said before, but also just in terms of the sort of differences between the characters. There are with the expansions, which I mean, I'm an idiot. I spent a bunch of money on a lot for this game with all the expansions and pewter miniatures and all this stuff. And so I've got like 28 characters to choose from. I'm missing the two Kickstarter exclusive characters, but I've got all the rest. And it's just, this diverse cast of criminals. The game is, all the characters you play as are these like fantastic underworld criminals that are wanted for like murder or like fraud or tax evasion or unlicensed witch smelling. And it's they give you a bit of background on these characters, but there's a lot of room for you to develop your own personalities for them, and to really like, you'll get these items and you'll get this stuff and you'll do these tasks, and you can really piece together these worlds and these characters without really that much being expressed to you in the game outside of kind of a jumping off point. And so I like that a lot. And the game plays out in a campaign setting. And so I want to start a campaign, a solo game, or potentially if she's interested, maybe a 2-player campaign with my wife, an ongoing one for Phasing Player. My wife and I are playing a campaign now, and maybe we'll start another one and do like regular streams of it. Otherwise, I might just do regular solo streams of the game. And we'll play through the missions. I'll maybe try to let people watching make some choices because it's sort of a choose your own adventure game in some capacity. And so maybe it'd be fun to have other people like join in with that sort of thing. But we'll see. Again, I'm just thinking of different ideas, trying different stuff. And so that's something you can expect from the channel, relatively soon, I think. Maybe in the next couple of weeks after the Matt Eklund interview stuff goes up. I'm also talking with the normal Phasing Player crew, Jimmy and Matt and Brett and Shane, and we're talking about ways to do like tabletop simulator streams. My worry is that it's going to be inherently less engaging. If you're just kind of looking at a computer screen and hearing us talking. But I have had a couple of people online, a couple of people that watch the show ask like, hey, it'd be cool to do tabletop sim stuff. And so we might try it out. Mike is enthused about it. I'm interested in trying new stuff. And so I may well, post up some tabletop sim streams for us to do in the near future. There are a bunch of games on there, a bunch of cool things on there. And so maybe that'll happen. I'd be curious to know what people think about that. And those are kind of the things I'm thinking of right now. Just, trying to do more interviews for the channel, trying to do some more recorded stuff, and trying to think of new stuff to do during this time, this COVID-19 time. And I have some ideas, so expect to see some stuff show up on the channel. Maybe some of it will be cool, maybe some of it won't be. I hope it'll at least be worth saying, hey, this sucks, Scott, if it sucks. And we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, it's I don't know what time it is. My computer monitor turned off there, so I can't look. I got to get my cat off of my shelf right now. Oliver's being a goon like he always is, and I think it's because it's late and he wants to go snooze. So I think I'm gonna do just that. So this is an impromptu little vlog at the wee hours of the morning. I hope everyone is cool. If you enjoy this vlog, let me know. I might try to do some more regularly. And if you like the channel, as always, subscribe. And if you really like the channel, go to phasingplayer.com/donate. Thank you to all my patrons and to the people that have supported me through PayPal. It means a lot. It's really cool to know that there are people out there willing to throw me some cash, especially in this trying time. I love hearing from the people that are into the channels, whether you're a subscriber or not. And I love to know that there are people out there that like what I'm doing enough to throw me a few bucks. So thank you very much, as always. And thank you to all my fans. That sounds weird saying that. Thank you, like I'm some kind of celebrity. Thank you, fans. I don't know. I'm tired. So I should go to bed. But everyone have a good night. If you're watching this in the morning, which I hope you're not watching this right when I put it up, then, have a good day. I hope your day goes well. Have a good lunch. Eat well. Stay full. Exercise effectively and efficiently, but not too much. Don't hurt yourself. And go to bed early. Go early to bed, early to rise leaves you healthy, wealthy, and wise, which are 3 things that I think would be especially beneficial right now in such a crisis as we're in at the moment. So with that being said, good night.